Let me start with something that's controversial. Most people don't have a money problem, they have a nervous system problem. Yes, I said it. Because if money was the only strategy, then the smartest people would always be the richest. And that is not what we see. We see brilliant people stuck, we see talented people collapsing, we see hardworking people repeating same years again and again. And then we see other people earning money like it is cutting a cake. Smooth, consistent, effortless. What is the difference? It's not IQ. It's not even hard work. It is a nervous system safety. Note down this word. Because your nervous system doesn't care about your dreams. Your nervous system cares about survival mode. So if your body doesn't feel safe with more money, more visibility, more responsibility, more more attention, more success, you will unconsciously block it, all of them. And you'll call it what? Laziness, procrastination. You'll call it, I'm not just consistent, but you're not lazy. You're dysregulated. Yes, note down this word, dysregulation. And if you're in midlife, or if you're a parent, or if you're carrying a responsibility for years, this is one of the most important conversations you will ever hear. And no, I'm not here for any kind of motivational talks. I'm a life coach. I'm not here for 5 habits, 10 hacks. I'm here to explain how your nervous system is silently controlling your life, your success, your consistency. Let's go. Watch the entire video fully, and I promise you, this will completely change your life if you follow. All right, now we have to talk about trauma, and I had to be very careful because the internet has completely destroyed this word. On one side, this trauma is a traumatic thing where people think about big thing, like something extremely big happens, like abuse, violence, abuse, major disaster. And yes, those are trauma. But on the other side, trauma has also become so casual in online that some people call everything as trauma. And honestly, both sides are dangerous because one side makes people deny their pain, and other side marks the word lose meaning. So let me define trauma that actually helps people. Trauma is not what happened. Trauma is what our nervous system had to store when it didn't feel safe. That's it. Trauma is what your nervous system had to store when it didn't feel safe. That's it. That is the definition. Because it's not only a memory in your head, it is an imprint in your body. Yes, in your body. And this is why two people can go through the exactly same situation when one person moves on and the other person stays stuck for years, not because one person is stronger, because one person is because no, one nervous system is more capacity and the other didn't. Now, when most people hear the word trauma, they think of big events, but the other trauma that destroy more, the trauma that destroy the adult is a slow trauma, slow form of trauma, the invisible kind, the kind that nobody calls trauma, but your body never forget. For example, growing up in the home where money was always tight, parents were always stressed, arguments were frequent, emotional support were missing. You had to become mature too early. You learn to stay quiet to avoid problem. You learn to adjust constantly. Adjust word is very danger. That is trauma. Even if nobody hates you, even if your parents were good people, and yes, your parent can be good people, most parents are. Trauma doesn't require a bad parent. Trauma required a nervous system that didn't feel safe. And safety is not just physical, safety is emotional. Now let's talk about one of the biggest silent trauma that destroys adult success: emotional neglect. Not abuse, it is neglect. Emotional neglect is when your emotions are never met. You cried and you were told to stop. You felt fear and you were told to become stronger. You wanted comfort, and you were told to adjust. And slowly, your nervous system learned these things. My emotions are a problem. Look, cry, fear, comfort, all are emotions, and very important emotions to express. Now imagine what happens when that child becomes an adult. That adult want to earn more money, want to be successful, want to be visible, want to start something, but every time emotion rise, cry will rise, fear will rise, comfort will rise, every kind of emotion will rise. The feeling, fear, shame, pressure, doubts, and then the body shuts down. They avoid, they freeze, they overthink because you were told to stop, you were told to adjust. Because nervous system learn emotions are dangerous. Don't feel it. And this is the most important line of this video. Adults don't fail because they don't know what to do. Adults fail because their nervous system cannot tolerate the emotions required to do. That is real reason, not strategy, not motivation, not knowledge. It's emotional tolerance. Let me give you let me give you a simple example of a woman, 42, professional, mother, responsible. She's doing everything right, but she feels stuck. She wants to post content, she wants to sell, she wants to go to the next level. Who doesn't want to? But whenever she tries, her chest tightens and she tells herself, I'm not confident. Guys, confident is not missing. She is misunderstanding the situation. She's saying, I'm not confident. Confidence is not missing. Safety is missing. Her nervous system associate visibility with judgment. Because growing up, she was judged for everything, her marks, her looks, her performance, her behavior. Even success feels like pressure. Even opportunity feels like, and that's why the trauma is a missing conversation in money, because money is just, it's not just numbers. It triggers a lot of things: worthiness, shame, fear, pressure, responsibility, visibility, rejection. And if your nervous system is carrying old emotions imprint, you will unconsciously block your own success. Now, in the coming part of this video, stay here because I'm going to cover a lot of stuff. I'm going to explain nervous system dysregulation in a simplest way possible, and you're going to understand why you cannot execute, you cannot stay consistent, why you cannot hold, why you cannot handle pressure, and why you cannot, you know, and why it is not your fault. It is your biology. Stay with me because now it will get even more real. Okay, now I'm going to explain the nervous system, and I want you to listen this part of the video very carefully because this is where people finally stop blaming themselves. Most people trying to fix their life using motivation or planning or discipline or mindset. But the nervous system doesn't care about any of them. Your nervous system is basically the real CEO of your life, not your intelligence, not your ambition, not your to do list. Your nervous system has one job: not to make you rich, not to make you successful, not to make you admire, just to keep you safe. Just to keep you safe. And that is real. And if your nervous system decides that success is unsafe, you will sabotage success. If your nervous system decides visibility is a risk, you will avoid being seen. If your nervous system if your nervous system sees money is risky, money is unsafe. If your nervous system sees your money is unsafe, if your nervous system decides success is unsafe, you will sabotage success. If your nervous system decides visibility is unsafe, you will avoid being seen. If your nervous system decides money is unsafe, you will push money away. And scariest part, you won't even know that you're doing it because it happens below logic. It happens below logic. Now, there are basically two main states: a regulated nervous system and dysregulated nervous system. A regulated nervous system is like you're calm, you're clear, you're grounded, you're present. You can focus, you can handle pressure, you can handle rejection without collapsing, right? This is when execution becomes natural. This is when you can build wealth. This is when you can lead. This is when you can sail. But a dysregulated nervous system feels like overthinking, anxiety, irritability, shutdown, procrastination, people pleasing, perfectionism, emotional numbness, constant tiredness, and you might not even realize you're dysregulated. You just think this is my personality, but it is not. It's your nervous system. Now, here is the pattern breaking truth. You can have the best strategy in the world, but a dysregulated nervous system will make you inconsistent because you won't be able to tolerate the emotions required for that. Let me make you clear. You decide you want to do something, wake up early, work out, post content, apply for better job, ask for sell your service, charge high tickets. In your mind, you're ready. But then your body reacts. Chest tights, stomach, throat closes, sudden tiredness happen. You can relate it, and you don't do it, and you you call it lazy. You're not lazy. You are in a survival mode. You may get fear. You may get fever as well, and that's very common. Cough and cold. That's very common. It happened to me. And survival has one rule: don't take risk. Don't take risk because risk feels like survival mode has one rule: don't take risk because the risk feels like danger. And this is what most people don't understand. Your nervous system doesn't understand modern language. It doesn't understand Instagram. It doesn't understand marketing. Doesn't high ticket sales. It understand only safe or unsafe, threat or no threat. That's it. So when you post a video, your nervous system doesn't think this is marketing. It thinks this is exposure, this is judgment, this is risk, and it react the way it learned in the childhood. So it react the way it react now, the way it learned in the childhood. That's why some people are brilliant in private but collapse in public, and some people earn money effortlessly because their nervous system stay regulated, and other people feel like earning money is fight every month because their nervous system is constantly stressed. Here is where it gets deeper. The nervous system doesn't just have two states, it has four major survival responses. And most people are living inside one of them, at least one of them, and without realizing. In the next part of the video, I'll show you four survival style and I'll rename it according to the easy understanding. Once you understand that, your whole life will start make sense. Stay with me because the next parts will expose you in the best way. Alright, now we'll talk about something that will explain your entire life. I'm not exaggerating because most people think they have a personality, but what they actually have is a survival style. Let me say it again. Most people don't have personality, they have a survival style. And that survival style was formed during childhood, during school, during family pressure, during unstable situation, during and it quietly runs your life, especially when it comes to money, relationship, visibility, conflict, authority, success. Now, most psychology framework call them is four responses: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. I'm going to give you a modern version of it, the trauma informed coaching version that you can actually understand and apply in your life. I call the defender, escaper, shutdown guys, and performer guys. And I want you to listen carefully because you will recognize yourself. Defender, first one. They say, I protect myself by pushing back. This is the person who become sharp under pressure. Someone asks them a question and they feel attacked. Someone challenges them, their value, they feel offended. Someone says, your price is too high, and they become irritated. And if they don't say anything, you can see in their face because their nervous system learns this a long ago. If I don't fight back, I'll be crushed. So they fight in relationships, so they fight in sales, in parenting, in business, everywhere. They're second, escaper. I protect myself by escaping, by becoming invisible. You can relate this to one of your friends or colleagues. They don't reply to messages. They don't post messages. They don't follow up. The moment pressure arises, they want success, And when the moment pressure arises, they will procrastinate. They will distract themselves because their nervous system learn that when danger comes, they have to leave, so they escape. Third is shutdown, guys. I protect myself by going numb. This is you can relate with a guy, and this is also one of the most misunderstood thing. This is the most misunderstood guys. They're the fridge guys. They have intelligence, they have talent, they have a lot of potential. But when it comes to performance, they collapse, they blank, they cannot think. Someone asks, how much you will charge? And they will freeze. Someone says, tell me what you do. They're not able to answer. They know the answer, but their body blocks. They go blank. They may be the most intelligent person in the room. Why do they do this? Because their nervous system learned it. When danger goes, don't exist. Go away. Leave. This is the shutdown, guys. Fourth one, performer. The performer. I protect myself by being liked. This is also one of the most dangerous people. This look like kindness is not always kindness. They become fake sweet. They smile when they really uncomfortable. They say it's okay when it is not okay, and they give discount when they don't want to give. They over deliver. They over justify because they are terrified of disapproval. The performers. If I they say things like if I keep making people happy, I'll stay safe. That is what their system is. So they perform in relationship, in business, in everywhere. They try to perform everywhere. They try to keep everyone happy. Now this is the part that will hit hard. Most people think like these are sales issues kind of thing. This is not sales issue. They are nervous system survival responses. And if you don't heal them, you carry them in almost everything, in your parenting, in your life, in your family, in your job, in your confidence, in your business, in your visibility. And now I want you to pause and answer honestly, which one are you? The defender, the escaper, the shutdown guys, the performer guys? I want you to comment it. Because the moment you identify, you start taking your power back. And now comes the most important part. These survival styles becomes and now comes the most important part. These survival styles become your income ceiling. In the next section, I'm going to tell you the money thermostat. The reason you keep hitting the same financial level, no matter how many courses you buy, no matter how many strategies you learn, no matter how much you hustle, your nervous system is not designed for your next level. This is where the money conversation becomes real. It's real, so real. Now we are entering into the real topic, money. I'm going to say something that might annoy you at first, but if you can stay with me, you it might set you free. Most people think money is about hard work or skill or strategy or networking or timing. Yes, all of that matters, but that is not the biggest reason people stay stuck financially. The biggest reason is something nobody teaches you, your nervous system as a financial comfort zone, a money ceiling, a level where your body feels safe. And when you go above that level, your nervous system pulls you back. I call it a money thermostat. That's something I learned from my own coaches. Let me explain it in the simplest way. You know how a thermostat works in a room? You set it 22-degree. Someone opens a window, the room gets cold, but the thermostat brings it back to 22. It stabilizes the room. Your nervous system does the same thing with money. If your nervous system is used to a certain income level, even if you get opportunities, even if you are talented, even if you are work hard, something inside you pulls you back because body doesn't chase well, body chase safety. Now watch how this shows up in real life. Some people get a raise and suddenly their expenses increases. Some people get client and suddenly they stop replying. Some people have a great month and then they crash emotionally. Some people finally start growing and then they start procrastinating suddenly like crazy. And from the outside it looked like, why would someone sabotage this thing? But from the nervous system perspective it makes perfect sense, because nervous system saying this is unfamiliar, this is too much, this is unsafe. So it creates chaos in the body, in the mind, to return it back to the normal, your normal. And here it gets personal. Have you ever seen people who earn money like nothing, no stress, no emotional drama, no overthinking? They just receive, receive, and receive. And then you like it yourself and you think, why does money feels heavy to me? And this is the answer, because money is not just money. Money is emotional. Money is emotional. Money triggers the deepest nervous system emotions: worthiness, shame, fear, rejection, the responsibilities, visibility, authority, power. So if you grew in at your home where money created tension, where money created fights, where money was linked to, created means linked to stress, your nervous system learned a silent rule: money is danger. Fight is related to money, stress is related to money. So even if your mind wants money, your body doesn't trust it, doesn't accept it. And when the body doesn't trust something, it blocks it quietly, subconsciously. Let me give you a simple story. There was a client, it's professional, smart, hard work, midlife. Most of the mid guys are really awesome, but he would sabotage. We found a route. As a child, whenever money was discussed, his parent would fight. His nervous system learned money equal to conflict, money equal to instability, money equal to tension. So, as an adult, when money started increasing, his nervous system created instability. Not because he wanted instability, because it was familiar, it was linked to money. And your nervous system doesn't want you to be rich. Your nervous system wants you to be safe. Your nervous system doesn't want you to be rich. Your nervous system wants you to be safe. So if your identity was shaped in struggle, you unconsciously recreate struggle again and again. Even if you love struggle, even we even if you hate struggle, but still you love it, you know. You think like, then if I earn more, if you think like, if you earn more, your friend will leave, people will leave me, people will fight me, I'll have more struggle, I will lose love, I will have conflicts. Those are trauma imprints of money situations. This is why midlife becomes so painful, because in midlife your responsibilities increases as well, but your nervous system capacity decreases. So now you feel like, I am working so hard and I'm not moving at all, because you're not only working, you're fighting your own thermostat. that is keeps bringing you back to the 22-degree safe state basically. In the next section, I am going to explain you why midlife feels like emotional collapse, why motivation stop working at midlife, why your body cannot handle pressure the way it used to. This is the real midlife crisis, not a sports car, not a vacation, a nervous system capacity collapse. Stay with me. Lots of things are coming in the coming part of the video. Make sure you won't miss it. It's gonna to change your life, guys. I'm there with you. Now we need to talk about midlife because midlife is where people silently break. And the scary part is most of them don't even know they're breaking. They just think something is wrong with them. They call it midlife crisis, burnout, stress, depression. I'm just tired. I'm not motivated anymore. But what's happening is deeper than that. Midlife is not about motivation problem. Midlife is about capacity problem. Let me explain it in a better way. That will make immediate sense. When you're younger, your nervous system is more elastic. You can bounce back faster. You can tolerate chaos more. You can push through emotions. You can survive on your adrenaline. You build your entire success on adrenaline. Your career is adrenaline. Your family life is adrenaline. The ambition, productivity. But midlife comes with a brutal reality. You cannot run your life on adrenaline at midlife because adrenaline is not power. It's the body is screaming something is unsafe. We need to survive. So if you are living for years inside this pressure, deadlines, money stress, family responsibility, relationship tensions, career competitions, your nervous system slowly gets exhausted. And one day, it's the war. And this is why midlife feels confusing because you are sitting, thinking you're not lazy, I'm depleted. Your nervous system is having no capacity. You cannot push like you used to. You can hustle like you used to. You can tolerate things like stress like you used to. You cannot have emotions like you used to. And you can start asking, what happened to me? What happened? This is what happened. Your nervous system hit the ceiling. And when it hits the ceiling, you start seeing symptoms that don't even look like trauma. They look like constant tiredness, brain fogs, emotional numbness, irritability, random anger, shutdown, avoiding people, avoiding conversations, losing ambitions, losing confidence, losing the ability to excuse, start blaming yourself, and you start saying, I'm becoming lazy, I'm losing my edge, I'm not the same person anymore. This is the pattern breaking truth. This is the pattern breaking midnight. I am becoming lazy, I'm losing my age, and I'm not the same person anymore. But listen, this is the pattern breaking truth. Midlife burnout is not weakness, it is your nervous system demanding safety. And if you ignore it, it will not go away. It gets louder because the body always wins. Now, how to make this real? If you were in corporate, finances, management, you've been carrying performance facer for years, and you have been doing it silently because society taught you to be strong, don't complain, handle it. So you kept doing it, and your midlife arrives, and suddenly you can't. You still want success, but you cannot move. And this is where people fall into two traps. They call themselves lazy, they start escaping, scrolling, food, shopping, porn, affair, substances, Netflix, doom thinking, not because we are bad people, it's because their nervous system is in a state now. And they think like, I don't know what I want. I don't feel drive, I don't feel alive. And that's not your personality, that is a nervous system exhaustion, that survival mode collapse. And here is the key: if midlife is a capacity collapse, the solution is not motivation, the solution is capacity expansion, the nervous system expansion, emotional expansion, identity expansion, money thermostat expansion. Yes, that's true. And in the next part of the video, we are going to do, we are going to go to the root. This next section, because midlife doesn't start in midlife. And in the next section, we are going to do go to the root, because midlife doesn't start in midlife. Midlife is where the consequences show up. The origin is childhood. And the next section is going to feel like someone read your life. Stay with me, watch till the end, watch the next part of the video to really read your life. And I'm there with you to unlock success. Now we are in the middle of the session. We have to go to the root now, because here is what nobody tells you: midlife doesn't start at midlife. Midlife is the moment your body finally stops cooperating. No cooperation with the body. Midlife is just the moment your body finally stops cooperating. I'm repeating it again. Midlife is where the consequences shows up, but the pattern, they started way earlier. They started in childhood. And I know some people don't like to hear that, because it feels like blaming their parents. But this is not that. This is about understanding how the nervous system works and learn. Because most adults are not living their adult life, they are still living their childhood programming. Body is adult programming, childhood programming, but and their nervous system is acting like a child. You can correlate it easily. You cannot unsee it. Once you see it, once you understand this, it will be a breakthrough. When you were a child, your nervous system was like wet cement. Whatever happened didn't just hurt you emotionally, it shaped your survival roots. It's like you learn the rules and opinions, like, is it safe to speak? Is it safe to be seen? Is it safe to fail? Is it safe to succeed? Is it safe to ask for help? Is it safe to want more? And the scariest part, you didn't write these rules consciously. Your body, this body remembers imprints. Remember imprint, trauma imprint concept that I told you. Now let's talk about the trauma that almost every achiever has, and nobody calls it trauma. School shame, comparison, pressure, marks, ranking, competition, the whole system. Maybe you grew up in a environment, family where marks is everything, not because your parents were evil, because they were scared, they were thinking survival, they were thinking society, they were thinking about your future. They were thinking, if my child doesn't do well, life will destroy them. So they do it, they compare, they pressured, and slowly your nervous system learns something really very dangerous. Yes, not in words, it's in your body. You learn I'm loud when I'm performing. You learn I am loud when I am performing, I'm achieving, I am saved when I am achieved. I am valuable when I impress other people, and that child grows up and becomes a high achiever, responsible, stable, reliable, the kind of person that everyone else is depends on. But inside, they are not living, they are performing, achieving, and the nervous system becomes addicted to one thing: pressure. Because pressure is what you grew up with. So pressure feels normal, calm feels stress, easy feels suspicious. This is why some people cannot relax even on vacation. They're sitting on a beach and your mind is still calculating. You're up on a trip and they still are anxious. They take a break and guilt start eating them, because their nervous system is strange to believe that if I stop, something bad will happen. And you can relate this. And I want you to just pause and notice these things. If you think I don't know what to do, uh, what will happen when I'm rushed? This is not conditioning. This is not. I mean, this is conditioning. Sorry, this is not your personality. Now listen carefully because this next part is money breakthrough. Money breakthrough. Yes, a lot of people don't have earning problem. They have a worthiness issue, worthiness trauma imprint. They don't feel safe on receiving money without proving. They don't feel safe earning money without suffering. They don't feel safe earning money without pressure. So when money comes easily, they sabotage, they create stress, they create chaos because the struggle feels like home always. Let me make it even more real. Imagine a boy growing up in a home where the father is always stressed. Father works hard, father is exhausted, father is anxious, and the body of the boy watches it every day. He doesn't analyze it, he absorbs it. And that is how child learns. They don't analyze, they just keep on absorbing the environment and whatever is happening. But father was right. Or oh, father is always right, But his nervous system learns. Money comes with stress, money comes with sacrifice, money comes with exhaustion. So, as an adult, even when his father was right and without realizing it, his nervous system learns. Money comes with stress, money comes with sacrifice, money comes with exhaustion. So, as an adult, even when he learns more, he earns more, he feels anxious, he feels pressure because the nervous system linked money to stress. And now here's the line that is very deep. Many high achievers are not ambitious, they're afraid. They're afraid of failure, their rejection, being judged. They're afraid of being called useless. So they keep achieving, they keep performing, and they keep pushing. But their nervous system feels, and then midlife arrives. The nervous system collapses because the body cannot perform forever. Now I want you to ask you something, and I want you to answer this thing in the comment because it matters. If you grew up in a home, in an environment where you had to be good, you had to be responsible, you had to be mature, you had to adjust, you had to not create problems, I want you to comment, I was the responsible kid. Because that responsible child becomes the exhausted adult. And once you see that, you stop blaming yourself. Now, in the next part of the video, we are going to talk about relationship, breakup, cheating, betrayal. Because some people don't just lose relationship, they lose safety. And once safety is broken, your nervous system starts expecting pain everywhere. Love, relationship, business, life, everywhere. Watch this entire video and your life will change. I'm with you guys. Alright, guys, thank you for being here so far. Now, we are going to talk about relationship, and I want you to stay with me because a lot of people separate relationship pain from money. A lot of people separate relationship pain with money, from confidence, from success, from life, like it is a different category. No, it's not. Relationship trauma rewires your nervous system faster than anything else because relationships are not just love, relationships are safety. And most important thing of life, when safety breaks, your nervous system changes, collapse, not in a poetic way, but in a most biological way, because they become suspicious, hyper alert, hyper vigilant. They start scanning everything for danger, and the scariest part is you can look completely fine outside, you can still go to work, still talk normally, still post on Instagram, still laugh in public, but inside you, your system is quietly saying, don't rush, don't open, don't risk, don't depend, don't believe. Now let's talk about betrayal, cheating, being lied to, being abandoned, being emotionally replaced, being used, being taken for granted. For some people, those experiences don't just hurt, they collapse something inside. They collapse trust, openness, innocence. And the nervous system learns rules like if I love, I lose. If I trust, I suffer. If I open, I get hurt. And you can relate this thing with a lot of people and in your life as well, in your family, your friends, neighbor, environment we are living. That thing change, and this will change your entire life once you realize it. You can have flash in your mind. It is highly relatable. It's happening everywhere. You might be thinking, what does this have to do with money? Everything. Because money is not just money, as I told you before. And in most of the part of this video, I'm keep on saying this. Money is not just money. Money is also trust here. So it is relationship. When you build wealth, you must trust yourself, your decisions, your ability, your timing, your client, your business, your future. And betrayal, trauma, damage, trust at the root. You know? So what change happens? People becoming overly cautious. They overthink. They become perfectionists. They shut down emotionally. They avoid risk. They avoid investment. They avoid spending. They avoid receiving. Because their nervous system is saying, I will never be betrayed again, even by life. I will never be betrayed again, even by life, even by opportunities, even by success. Let me give you a story. A woman, she gave everything. She was loyal, she was committed, she built a life, and then she found her partner was cheating. And something inside her snapped, not just emotionally, biologically. Her nervous system went into shock. And then even she started rebuilding. She tried to grow. She couldn't trust, not her client, not her opportunity, even her own intuition. Because betrayal trauma creates hidden belief that people don't talk about. Good thing don't last. Good thing don't last. And that belief is deadly for success. If you believe good things don't last, you will sabotage good things. This will stabilize. You will overthink. It will. You'll start trusting momentum. You'll start receiving, not because you're toxic. You're broken. Your nervous system is trying to protect you. Now listen to this. This is one of the most important line of the whole episode. Many people are not afraid of failure. Many people are not afraid of failure. And this is reality. They are afraid of heartbreak. They are afraid of investing energy and being disappointed. They are afraid of hoping and being crushed. They are afraid of believing and being betrayed. So they keep their dream small, businesses small, income small, because small feels safe than loss. And I want to ask you something. If you have ever experienced betrayal of any kind, cheating abandoned, think emotional abandon, a breakup that changes you, I want you to comment something very specific. I want you to comment something very specific that I lost safety. Comment in the chat box. I lost safety. I lost safety. Not not I lost love. I lost safety. Comment in the chat box. Comment in the comment section, because the real wow is safety, and healing is not about finding love again. Healing is about teaching your nervous system it is safe to trust again. And in the next part of the video, we are going to talk about a trauma after childhood, work trauma, work trauma. Because after childhood, after relationship, or parallel with relationship, life hits you again. Job, bosses, pressure, humiliation, insecurities, performance, anxiety, and that is where many midlife professional break, go broke because their or stuck because they're not there, because their nervous system perform anxiety, and that is where many midlife professionals get stuck, not because they're weak, because their nervous system has been hit too many times. Stay with me, because next part is going to connect everything. Midlife professionals has been hit, their nervous system has been hit many times by the time they reach their midlife. Now we will talk about the part that most midlife professionals don't even know how to name it: work, career, job, bosses, deadlines, performance, etc. etc. And I want you to stay with me here, because a lot of people work, for a lot of people, work was not just stressful. Work became the place where your nervous system learned a lot of things, and nobody calls it trauma because it looks normal. You still show up, attend meetings, you still say no problem, smile, you're still doing all those things, gestures, but inside in your body, there is always a pressure that something bad could happen at any moment. Recall, try to have some flashback. That's the real sign of trauma. It's not one big incident. Your nervous system learns from years of pressure, years of being evaluated, compared, years of feeling replaced by someone else, years of working, years of like working for someone mood, right? Actual around someone's mood. And the worst part, a lot of people don't even realize how much humiliation they have normalized. Not just about you experience yourself, it's also about you see other people are experiencing. Being spoken to sharply in front of others, being blamed for things you didn't control, being treated like your value is only your output, being made to feel like you're lucky to even have a job. This is very critical. Being made to feel like you're lucky to even have a job. That stuff doesn't just hurt ego, it changes your nervous system, and then something start to happen quietly. You stop feeling safe around visibility. So before you go to meeting, your chest tightens. Before speaking, your throat closes. This is very, very common. I've also gone through that same kind of situation in corporate life. And asking for a raise, your mind start racing. Before posting content, you suddenly feel tired. Before giving opinion, you think then you're overthinking. You're not overthinking. Your body is remembering something from the past. And here is the part that really explains midlife. Most midlife professionals are not tired because of workload. They are tired because of emotional labor. Emotional labor constantly telling you you're okay, you're confident, you're not affected, you're not scared, you're not hurt. Pretending takes more energy than work. And then you keeps going for years until one day your body says, I'm done. And people call it burnout. But burnout is not really laziness. Burnout is your nervous system refusing to live in threat every day. And here is this connects to money, because this is the exact phase where people start seeing that word freedom. They're looking for freedom, not luxury. Freedom from being judged, freedom from being controlled, freedom from being providing your net worth to people who don't even respect you. So you start thinking side income, side hustle, business, coaching, consulting, freelancing, content creation, something of your own. But then another part of you freezes, which is painful contradiction. You want freedom, but your nervous system trained for survival. Serious contradiction. Freedom versus survival. You want freedom, your nervous system looking for survival. Your nervous system doesn't take care about how smart you are. and it just want know whether you're safe or unsafe, or your body wants it, and then you blame yourself. With this, will this make me unsafe or safe? So your body blocks the move, even if your mind wants it. And then you blame yourself. You call yourself lazy, inconsistent, and self blaming start to happen. But what is really happening is your nervous system is trained to associate visibility with punishment, and you stay small. And you not because you want to stay small, because small feels safe than exposure. Now, I want to ask you something genuinely. If you have ever had a job, freelancing, business, whatever you're doing, Sunday evening felt heavy. Your heart races when your boss called on Sunday, and you felt a racing conversation in your head. You felt like you had to move your worth every week. I want you to comment. Work trained me to fear. Work trained me to fear. Because that sentence alone explained why so many people at midlife professionals suffer. And these things happen to me as well. I'm also at my midlife. So that's why I learned all the nervous system things and coming out of that. And by now, we have covered three major zones where safety gets damaged: childhood, relationships, and work. And then when your nervous system hits, then you start trusting your life, stop trusting people, stop trusting money, stop trusting yourself. This is the real midlife crisis. This is the real midlife crisis, not a vacation, not a sports car, a collapse of trust. Now, in the next section, I am going to show you how this can be reversed, not with motivation, not with hacks, but by building the nervous system capacity in a real way. Stay with me, I'll share some of the tricks and tips and mechanism that I do to my private clients in my life coaching sessions. This is something I also have learned from my coaches and doing a lot of case studies. Next part is getting into real things. And now I want to do something different because up until now we have been talking what is happening, why you feel stuck, why midlife feels heavy, why money feels emotional, why you fridge, why you overthink, why you cannot execute even though you're smart. And if you are listening to this and thinking, okay, I get it, what do I do? Good. That's the right question. So, in this section, I want to give you a few things that you can actually try, not theory, not any code, not positive thinking, the real nervous system tools, and how to keep things simple. Simple is something that works. And there's something that you can try. Now, before I'll give you the tool, I want you to remember one thing. You don't change your life by forcing yourself life. You don't change your life by forcing yourself. You change your life by keeping your nervous system safe. That is the whole game. Okay, let's start. Tool number one, the 90-second reset when you feel stuck, anxious, or frozen. If you feel overwhelmed, or if you feel brain fogs, and if you feel like you cannot start, don't try to push. Do this instead. Take one slow breathing and exhale longer than inhale. That's it. Do that 6 times. Inhale, normal. Exhale, longer. Because long exhale tells the nervous system that we are not in danger. And if you do this for 60 to 90 seconds, you'll feel like your body comes back online. Not magically. And this is the key most people don't feel because they don't know what to do. They feel because they feel stuck because their nervous system is offline, and this thing can bring you offline. Although there are a lot of complex work we need to do to bring your nervous system back to normal, we have to do a constant work with someone's support for 90 days at least. You need to do an immersive program to completely reverse or rebuild the nervous system for capacity. But these are small hacks that you need to try depending on where you are right now, depending on your current situation. But it will definitely help you on daily basis. The actual mechanisms, immersive programs are very complex. Tool number two, the naming technique for shame, fear, and money anxiety. This one sound too simple, but it is very powerful. This one sound too simple, but it's very powerful. The moment you feel fear, shame, pressure, panic, say out loud. Say out loud that this is the nervous system response. This is not my response. This is not who I am. This is the nervous system response. Because naming it separate out from you, and the moment you separate it out, you stop identifying it as broken. And when you stop identifying it as broken, your nervous system relaxes. The money safety sentence is tool number three. So tool number three, money safety sentence. And this changes your thermostat. Okay, this one is going to sound weird, but most people will try to manifest manifestation using simple affirmations. But this will work. But your nervous system doesn't respond to the simple affirmations. It responds to safety. Instead of saying I want more money, I'm earning more money, say it. Say it like, it is safe for me to receive and earn more money. Say it slowly and notice what happens in your body. A lot of people feel discomfort immediately. Tightness, resistance, weird guilt. That's not random. That's your money thermostat. That is your nervous system saying. So you don't fall. Your body slowly runs when you repeat this every day. Money is not conflict, money is not loss, money can be safe. I mean, these are very simple tool you need to try on a regular basis. But if you really want to have a huge changes, complete reversal, complete rebuild, there is a huge amount of consistency, guidance, and immersive things you need to do under someone's guidance. 40 years of trauma cannot be released like this. But I will suggest you to keep trying these tools. This will help you to understand things, at least feelings. Be aware of it on your own. Tool number four, one brave action for execution. This is for people who keep on waiting for motivation. Stop doing that. Every day, stop taking one action, one brave action, not 10, 15, just one. Send the message you're avoiding, post the videos you're thinking, ask for the raise your price, say no, say what you really want. Only brave action. Because every brave action expands your capacity or touch your capacity. And this is how you rebuild trust with yourself and experience your capacity as well. And then 2-minute body check next to it. This one is most important. And almost every day, pause for 2 minutes and ask, what is my body currently feeling right now? Not what you're thinking, not what you're feeling. Chest tight, jaw clenched, stomach heavy, throat block. Because most midlife professionals are living in their head, but healing happens in the body and in the soul level. And money blocks live in the body. Now listen, if you are trying these tools consistently for a week, you will start noticing something. You won't become something overnight, but you will feel something. Your capacity, you'll start saying, I'm not lazy, I'm not broken, my nervous system is just exhausted. I'm not saying that, you'll regain everything over a week, 21 days. No, nothing like that will happen. But these are good tools, very good tools. I want you to keep practicing this thing and tell me What's your reflection after trying these things for 21 days? I'm going to show you how nervous system healing actually creates expansion in a real biological hack, and why some people look lucky but they're actually regulated. Stay with me. We are already at the end of the episode. This will be life changing knowledge to you. So you can take a better decisions in your life, especially when you're at midlife. All right, guys, now we'll connect everything. Because if you have stayed with me this long in this episode, you're already not the average listener. You're already not the average listener. You're a kind of person who knows this is not just motivation, this is deeper, this is real. And so let me say, think most people don't fail because they don't know what to do. They fail because their nervous system cannot hold the emotional of the next level, emotions that needs for the next level. That is the real definition of capacity. And what I say when I say next level, I don't just mean money. I mean more responsibilities, more visibilities, more discipline, more people watching you, more visibility, more expectation, because money doesn't come along. Money comes with weight, and your nervous system has to be strong enough to hold that weight without collapse, without collapsing. And this is why some people makes more money and stay calm, and other people makes more money and instantly create chaos. They start fight, procrastination, missing calls, avoid messaging, feeling weird, and they don't even understand why. It's because their nervous system try to pull them back to the what feels familiar. Remember, money thermostat concept and trauma concept. Now, here is the line that I want you to really absorb. Your income is not only your reflection of your skill. Your income is not only your reflection of your skill. Your income is a reflection of what your nervous system feel safe receiving. Let that land within you, because if your nervous system associates money with conflict, judgment, loss, pressure, being victim, responsibilities, betrayal, then money will never feel clean. Then money will never feel clean. It will always feel heavy. It will always feel heavy. And if you will unconsciously avoid money, even while saying, I want money, you want it, I want it, now you will avoid it, subconsciously you will avoid it. And here's the part that changes everything. Because think the difference between 1 lakh and 1 crore. Just for an example, 1 lakh and 1 crore. What's the strategy? Marketing. What's marketing? What's funnel? Branding. Those matters, but deeper difference is identity safety. A 1 crore nervous system can tolerate being misunderstood, being judged, being disliked, being criticized, being visible, being responsible, holding money without guilt, charging big tickets without apologizing, receiving money compared to 1 lakh. 1 lakh guy cannot comparatively. It doesn't mean that 1 lakh guy is weak. Not because the person is weak. The person is because the person is still operating from safety, from the survival mode. Not because the person is weak, because person is still operating from survival mode, still trying to stay safe, still trying to stay light, invisible, avoid pain. And this is why so many guys are stuck. You got the answer, right? Because their nervous system is still negotiating world like a child, trying to earn safety through the performance, try to earn love by proving, and trying to avoid rejection at any cost. And now let me make it practical. Your nervous system, and let me make it practical. When your nervous system becomes regulated, you start doing things that look like confidence. That is not fake confidence, it's nervous system stability. So you start Posting, you start posting contents without sailing, charging without guilt, handling rejection without collapse, showing up consistently, making decisions faster, making risk without spiraling. And then people watching you, wow, you're so disciplined. But it is not discipline, you're regulation. This is regulation. This is why nervous system healing is not self-care, it is wealthy work, it is leadership work, it is execution work, it is success work, right? Now I want to say something that might hit hard. A lot of people trying to become wealthy while still having a nervous system trained from poverty. Poverty is not only financial, believes life is unsafe, people cannot be trusted, money creates pain, success invites punishment, visibility invites humiliation. So you can read 100 books, join 50 courses, you can make, but your body still believes those things. You keep repeating the same ceiling, same pattern. But here is the good news, this is reversible, not the motivation, not the push. With nervous system training, with emotional tolerance expansion, with identity expansion, because when your nervous system learns safety, you stop sabotaging, you stop collapsing, you stop running, you stop freezing, and you start holding, you start receiving, and you start holding, you start receiving, and you start building. Now, in the final part of the episode, I want to bring everything together in a very grounded way, not like a page, but like a real conversation. What nervous system healing actually look like, why, and what was been covered today is the tip of the iceberg. But I promise you, by the end of this episode, a lot of people will finally feel hope again if they are at crisis at mid level. Okay, let's take a breath. If you have listened to this entire episode, I know something about you. Once again, you're not here for entertainment. You're here with us because something inside you is tired. Not tired like I need sleep, tired like I've been carrying my life for too long. And I want to say this first before anything else, you're not weak. You're not be behind. You're not broken. You're not failing because you're lazy. If anything, the fact that you're still standing is the proof that you're strong. You have just been strong for in survival mode. In survival mode. And survival mode has a cost. And I'll be honest with you, everything we talked about today, childhood programming, relationship trauma, work trauma, money thermostat, midlife capacity collapse, this is not motivational content, this is real. You might have realized already. This is what I have seen again and again in real humans, professionals, parents, people who look fine from outside but inside feel like they are running out of themselves. And if you're listening to this thinking, okay, this explains me, good, because awareness is the first step. But awareness is not the finish line. Awareness is not, is just the doorway, because understanding the nervous system is not the same as rewiring it. You cannot you can understand everything intellectually but still fridge when it's time to act. You can understand everything and still sabotage when money increases. You can understand everything and still feel the same old tightness in your chest when you try to become visible, because nervous system healing is not just inside, right? It is training, it is repetition, it is rebuilding safety inside the body. And this is where most people get stuck. They know what is happening, but they don't know how to move to it. So let me explain what real nervous healing really look like. Not in fancy words. In real life, real healing look like you stop forcing yourself to push when your body is shutting down. Instead, you learn to come back into regulation state. First, real healing look like you stop calling yourself lazy and start noticing the exact moment your body enters to survival mode. Subtle things. Real healing look like you stop treating your emotions as enemies and you start treating them like signals. Real healing look like you stop trying to become high performer and you start becoming a safe person inside your body. inside your own body. And when you become safe inside your own body, your life become bigger outside. And now let me tell you something that most people will never hear. Midlife is not the end of power. Midlife is not the end of power. Midlife is the beginning of your real power. Because midlife is when the fake strategies stop working, the adrenaline stop working, the pushing start working, the pretending stop working. And yes, it is painful, but it is also a gift because your body finally saying, I don't want to survive anymore. I want to live. And if you respond correctly, midlife becomes your breakthrough, not your breakdown. And I want to talk about money one last time because money is where people feel most shamed. Money does not make you bad. Wanting money does not make you selfish. Charging for your work does not make you guilty. A lot of people have been trained to believe, a lot of have been trained to believe that good people suffer. Spiritual people don't want money. Healer should not charge. Rich people are evil. But those are not spiritual truths. And if you carry those imprints, you will unconsciously punish yourself. So if there is one thing I want to take from this episode is that your next level is blocked not by your knowledge, it is blocked by your nervous system. Fear of judgment, fear of visibility, fear of responsibility, all nervous system thing. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of losing love, fear of losing safety. This is why nervous system work is not soft. It is not just healing. It is the most practical success work you can do on yourself because once your nervous system becomes stable, regulated, you become consistent. And consistency is what? Wealth, confidence, trust, relationships, success. And now I want to make something very clear. I didn't enter this field because it looks cool. I didn't enter life coaching because it is trending. I entered because I have seen people don't feel, people don't realize. They keep repeating the same pattern years and years, same relationship cycles, same money ceiling, same emotion, exhaustion, same fear, same procrastination. I have too gone through it and it doesn't stop. And I have also seen what happens when people do this work properly, not in a selfish way, properly, their work life changes. They start earning more without panic. They start holding money without chaos. They start showing without freezing. They stop people pleasing. They stop shrinking. They stop sabotaging. They stop thinking like life is dangerous. They start feeling like life alive again, not because life become perfect, but because their nervous system is stopped being from that to regulate it. Now, before we close, one final practice. This is simple, but it's powerful. Tonight or tomorrow morning, I want you to sit quietly for 2 minutes and ask yourself one question. What do I want that my nervous system is scared of? What do I want that my nervous system is scared of? Not that, not what your minds want, not your body is scared of. Is it money, visibility, love, success, freedom, rest, peace, being seen? What is it? When you find the answer, don't judge it, just notice it. Because the moment start you stop judging yourself, your nervous system starts softening. And that softening is where change begins. And now listen, if your this episode made you feel like seen, if you felt like someone is finally explaining what is happening inside you, then stay connected because this is exactly what I'm going to talk about in real life, real nervous system work, real trauma informed coaching, money expansion, no fluff, no motivation, guys. And if you want, we can go deeper into future episode. What we covered today is just the tip of the iceberg, 1% thing. And it is the right thing. You can relate. It is the part that unlocks everything. So thank you for staying with me, and more important, for not giving up. Proud of yourself. You're not broken. If you're at midlife, it can be a breakthrough.